Hey guys, welcome back to She Became Me podcast. I'm your host, Lentina Rogers, where we unlock pain, passion, and power. So, for the month of December, we will talk about the love of self, others, and community. And this episode will feature the eternal love, would be the episode title. So, let me introduce you to my co host, and Ronieka Howell will be the first one.
Hello.
My next co host is Yalonda J. Brown.
Hello, everyone.
And our guest for this episode is Lisa Gross.
Hello, everyone.
Hey, Lisa.
Hi.
So
Hi.
glad you can join us today.
Me too.
So, Lisa has very interesting story that we want to share with our viewers. So, Lisa has been working and brewing with tea for many, many years. And she's going to tell us the story of tea time. So this is going to really be a story time, and it's going to be all about tea. So Lisa, go ahead and share with our audience, how did you come about the tea world and the tea life, and then and get them all involved and how they can contact you and how this is going to be the best thing ever.
Well, let me start off this way. I
Okay.
started off with tea over 30 years ago for my kids. So when kids love sugar, kids love pop, soda pop, and Kool-Aid, I wouldn't give that to my kids. I came up with this great idea of let's make tea. So I would go to the store and I would buy tea bags. We would brew tea and then we would make iced tea, and I would put raw cane sugar in there with a whole bunch of fruit and serve them tea, and they loved it. Well, fast forward about 4 years ago, and I've always been in the cosmetic and the beauty field. That's what you see behind me. I also make skincare. And I launched a new product. Well, at my skincare launch, I served my sangria tea that I have been making for 30 years for my kids. Well, everybody loved my tea and kept saying, I like your skincare, but when are you going to launch this tea? So I said, well, okay, let me go ahead and launch my tea. So I did that and now have it in several stores and restaurants here in Indianapolis and some in Chicago. So it went from 30 years of me taking care of my friends and my family and them loving it to becoming dormant for a while and me thinking it's just tea. And my friends and family always told me, hey, you need to bottle this and serve it and sell it because it's not just tea. Your tea is low in calories, low in sugar, but full of flavor. And I took it as it's just tea, but it's really, really flavorful. It's really good for you. And as we know today, people are more health conscious, and my tea is more than just tea. And now I have ready to drink tea. And what I really want to introduce to the world today is how I lost 75 plus pounds on just my tea. And with us dealing with COVID right now, how I have tea and herbs to actually help boost your immune system, which is what we really need to do to actually help fight off COVID. So those are things I
Okay.
want to introduce to everybody today.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay. Sounds great. That's the whole focus of the title for your show today is the eternal love. How you've shown the tea has been a love barrier for you from your kids to your family, your friends, and now the community, and all the additives and things that you have to support the immune system. So, tell us a little bit about your skincare products as well.
Well, my skincare products has been around for 11 years.
Okay.
My business partner is my ex-husband. He's a chemist.
Okay.
So the skincare started with the love of me
Okay.
because I found out I was allergic to almost everything walking this earth. And
Okay.
I broke out from allergies from head to toe and couldn't figure out what I was allergic to. Where I was using Bath and Body Works like we all do. And I just couldn't stop breaking out. My doctor tells me, well, I'll tell you what, you can use plain Castile soap and
Mm.
plain Vaseline on your body, which is no fun for a 29-year-old, and no perfumes, no nothing to figure out what's wrong. So I then went to my husband, the chemist, and says, hey, I need some help here. I need you to create me something for my skin that's not going to break me out. So we started making skincare for me. And then 11 years ago, I said, well, I can't be the only person having this problem with sensitive skin. And I started selling it one by one out of Lafayette Square Mall and a little kiosk. And it started off with a little body butter that I would sell to people saying, hey, try this. It really works great on your skin. It doesn't break you out. And started adding fragrances and built a skincare line from there. So now I take care of everything from your hair all the way down to your feet.
Wow. Oh man,
Wow.
go well, Yalonda, Ronieka. I know that y'all minds are just jumping. Go right ahead.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I love tea, first of all. And I think this is so wonderful. And you already started part of my question, because in this time of COVID and needing to build our immunity, and I was a faithful Starbucks, no shade on Starbucks, but Starbucks coffee daily. And it took COVID happening for me to, I always loved tea, but to replace and not stop drinking coffee consistently and switching to tea multiple times a day. How do you, what types of teas are key for building immunity, if you will share with our viewers?
So I have here what's called Raise Your Immunity. It's our immune tea. We already put it together for you, so you don't have to come in and get individual packets of tea and try to do it yourself. In here, you have echinacea, blackberry, sage, oolong. That's just for the taste. But echinacea, moringa leaf, sage, rose hip, orange peel, dandelion leaf, and oat straw. Those are some main key ingredient teas, which are really herbs that actually help to boost your immune system and fight off infectious diseases like the cold virus, corona, the influenza. Those herbs or teas actually help us to boost our immune system. Ever since this came about in March, I caught a real bad cold in March. I wasn't sure if it was COVID, but the first thing my doctor told me to do was boost my immune system, hype up my vitamin C, D, and E. I came in here, put together my own herbs, my own tea, and I have been drinking this faithfully 2 to 3 times a day. I have 2 employees here who was drinking tea on and off, but they were like you, hooked on coffee, had to have their coffee without fail. When I went on vacation, they got sick due to COVID. The first thing I told them to do was come in here, was I would ship them some tea. I sent them this, and they started recovering rather quickly because there's nothing out there that will fight it. I said, you have to boost your immune system.
Yeah.
And they have been on the immunity since.
That's good. And so just let me ask, because like, for example, my husband, he won't drink tea. I don't know if it's something that men perceive tea as being girly, feminine. I don't know, something that men don't do. I'm just not sure. But, and then the whole idea of the loose tea, and someone getting used to doing it. I mean, because even for me, of course, I prefer to be able to just dip a bag and keep it moving. But how do you encourage men? Have you seen any differences in men versus women and embracing drinking tea?
Yes, that is a good question. I had a guy here yesterday who came in, he buys the immune tea and he ships it to his family all around the world, along with other tea here. So what he did, he shared with me that works for him as a guy, was he takes the tea and he makes it by the gallon jug. So that way he doesn't have to do tea bags, because guys hate the tea bags. I didn't realize that until he told me that yesterday.
Oh,
so
wow.
He makes a jug of it, puts it in the refrigerator. So he brews it hot. Then he makes it cold, puts it in the refrigerator. So every morning, now he's got to do as a guy is get up, put it in a cup, and drink it. So he already makes it, sweetens it to taste before he makes it cold, puts it in his cup, he drinks it, and he's out the door. So that's the difference between men and women. We don't mind putting it in a tea bag or putting it in the little baggies and dipping it and making our little tea hot or cold. Men want to pour and go. So when he told me that yesterday, I like to fell on the floor. Like, oh my God, this is why I love my customers. They share so much stuff with me.
That's a good
I had
point.
never thought about that. Even though when I do my ready to drink teas, which is like these that I was telling you all about, that I sell around the town, sell in restaurants and sell to stores. These are my ready to drinks. I do the same thing. I have to brew it, then I make it cold, and then I sell it. Well, he took the same idea that I do for a living with the immune tea and other tea that he's bought for me because he's a guy. He did the same thing. He makes it ready to drink, pours it, he's out the door. And I'm like, oh my God, I got to share this with people.
Yeah.
So that's for guys.
Good.
That's the best way to get your husband to drink the tea. Make it already ready to go. All you got to do is pour it and go.
Okay. Thank you.
Lisa, I am a tea lover as well. I don't drink coffee at all. I love the smell of it, so I can brew coffee just to let it kind of breeze to the house. But I just absolutely love tea. And I see that you offer tea tasting. So how would we schedule like a tea tasting with your company?
You would just call in. We usually do them on a Saturday. You would schedule at least a 2-hour time frame to come in, and we will sit you down and we will offer a tea class. So we will ask you different questions about teas while you have while you're here with the tea time with me. You will learn the different brands of tea. Most people who say they don't like tea is because all they remember is Lipton tea, and Lipton tea is the bottom barrel of tea. All they serve you basically is black tea. When you're here with me, you'll learn there's different types of tea and what different types of tea do for your body and why different types of tea are good for you. So you would just call in, schedule time for you. You can do it one-on-one with me. You can do up to 6 people with me. With COVID, I really want to push that back down to like 4 people. So we'll have some distance in between us. And you just come in, sit down, and we'll have tea time. And you'll learn a little bit about tea and learn the benefits of tea and learn to like tea even more than you do now.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, Lisa. So that was absolutely wonderful. So, what about your skin care line? So, how can people? Do you have samples? Do you have different events to further engage people about that, or they just can come to your store and just purchase, and you'll give them a consultation about it?
For the skincare, they'll come to the store at 6210 La Paz Trail, and we'll give them consultation on the skincare line for anything that they have problems with. So we have a acne kit, we have a facial line, we have eczema kit, which works very well for babies up to adults. We have a men's line, we have the women's line, we have sanitizer, and our sanitizer is not like regular sanitizer that's on the market. Our sanitizer is a premium sanitizer because it moisturizes your skin like lotion. So you can use it repeatedly and there's no buildup or it feels tacky or sticky. You can use it over and over and over again and it moisturizes your skin. We have everything. We have oils that you can actually, essential oils that you can burn in your home. We have oils you can put on your skin. We can even make you a custom oil for your skin on your home.
Okay.
We can go on and on from there, but there's so much we can consult you on.
So that sounds like a good idea for Christmas gifts. So people can get a customized oil. What about a candle or something like that? Or
I don't do candles because I don't deal with wax.
okay.
So I don't do candles at all.
Okay.
But yes, you can actually come in and do like a men's gift set, like behind me here. So let's say you took the men's gift set here for your guy, and you wanted to put a men's oil with it.
Okay.
Or a gift set for Christmas. And then we have the same thing for women. You have a gift set and you can put an oil with it and you can customize the oil. And we can actually, let's say you wanted a popular one, bond number 9. So let's say you wanted the gift set for your guy, but you wanted to put bond number 9 in there. We can actually customize that to make it smell like bond number 9 for him, or let's say Creed for you. We can actually do that because we actually have a factory here on site where we manufacture everything right here. So we manufacture our skincare here. My ex-husband does, being the chemist. I actually manufacture the tea on the other side of our manufacturing plant. So we do everything in-house. We do nothing outside of our manufacturing plant here.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
That
So
is
we're a one-stop
excellent.
Mm.
So I have a question. And because number one, and you all know that I'm not stereotyping in any way, but I'm not sure I've ever known a Black chemist or heard. I mean, and there's such a big focus on introducing young people, especially people of color, to
Mhm.
STEM careers. And so, and even Lisa, you say your ex-husband's the chemist. That's amazing. But you have to have, I know with what you're doing, how did you acquire a love for even wanting to understand the scientific parts of what you do? And so can you talk to the young people who may be watching, or student people that are in college and thinking about their future careers? How did you nurture this love for this type of business?
Well, several ways. Him being well, we met at, I don't know if you all remember, Soft Sheen. So I was a hairdresser
Yeah.
back then in the 80s, still licensed cosmetologist. But he was a chemist, so he made the hair care products for Soft Sheen, and I was in the test center. So I've
Wow.
always had a passion for products. How do they make them? How do they work on your hair? What's the ingredients in them? Because that was important. That was taught to us. The chemistry part of your hair was taught to us when you were doing people's hair. You had to know what you were putting on their hair. So for me to actually meet the chemist, and it was a Black chemist like you, I was the same way. Like, you're a chemist, you actually make everything that I'm putting on someone's hair.
Mm-hmm.
That blew my mind. So
Wow.
I got to know him even more intimate, of course, about what it is and how it works and what the love is for it. So from there, I learned how each ingredient actually works for everything, for your skincare, how it relates to us, how skin is skin. We always want to say Black skin, white skin, but really skin is skin. And it's a horrible myth that our skin is different than their skin. The only difference is the dryness. That's the real only difference. And then that myth goes away when you have to deal with eczema and psoriasis.
Wow.
Then we're all the same.
Yeah.
Because we have the dermal layer and the epidermal layer. So for young people who are looking for something that a career, chemistry is a field, is like an untapped field, because you have everything we do deals with chemistry, from everything we eat to everything we put on, to everything we wear, to everything we see, to everything we drive, to everything we touch. It all starts with chemistry. If we don't have a chemist that makes it come into reality, everything you think about, it has to start with a chemist to has to make that come into existence. Even what we're doing today, the fact that we're looking at each other through a computer and through a lens, a chemist had to make that happen. And that's what we all forget about. We think technology, technology, technology. Well, a chemist had to do that.
Wow.
Wow, that's very interesting. Very interesting. I think that is definitely something that um, the young people should start hearing more about.
Yes. They
Yeah.
forget about that. They think basketball, football, rapping,
Yeah,
they think everything but the basics. But the crazy part is, you have the foreigners, they come over here and they think chemistry right away,
Yeah.
yeah,
because there's so many different branches of chemistry of being a chemist, and they know it.
yeah,
And they are really taken away from what we've forgotten about. And they're making a killing at it.
yeah. Well, it hasn't been incorporated in our community,
That's correct.
in school or at home. So just lack of knowledge,
Yes.
would be the reason why that barrier is there. So I'm really glad that we was able to talk to you about that, and you just enlightened us, and hopefully some younger people, it would like pique their curiosity.
Yes. Oh, I hope so.
Yeah. Yeah. So, well, we come to the part of our show where we do what we call she mail. And she mail is this little mailbox that I keep comments, concerns that our viewers sent in that they have questions or they want an opinion about, and we include our guests in on that opinion. So we're going to ask for your opinion as well, Lisa. So I'm just going to shake up the box and I'm going to pull out a question, comment, or concern, and we're going to let you have the first grab at answering, and then we'll weigh in with our opinion as well. Okay. What do you take for granted? What do you take for granted? So that's the question.
Time.
Time. Okay.
That's a good one.
That's a
Time.
good one. You
We
want to
always think
elaborate
we got
on
enough time.
you? Oh, so you feel like you don't have enough time, or
Right. We always think we have enough time. We always put things off. I'll do that later.
yeah,
I'll get to that tomorrow.
yeah,
That'll be there when I get back.
yeah,
But really, there's not enough time. It won't necessarily be
right,
there. There's no guarantee that there is no tomorrow.
right,
I've learned that this year, and all of us should learn that this year. There is
right,
no guarantee. None of us is promised tomorrow. So if you're thinking about doing something today, do it. If you're thinking about telling somebody you love them, tell them. If you
yes,
miss somebody, go see them. If you're
yeah,
thinking about somebody, call them. If you have an idea to do something, do it. If you want to start a business, do it. If you're unhappy on your job, leave it. Because
yes,
tomorrow's not promised. Live your life today. There is no tomorrow. We don't have enough time. Time
yeah,
is gone. What happened a minute ago, we can't repeat. What's going to happen a minute from now, we don't know.
right.
All we got is right now. So
Oh,
live for right now. That's all we got. Time.
oh, excellent, excellent message.
Yes.
So good. I would agree with Lisa as far as time and actually taking the time out for self. Because I know a lot of times um, we do a lot for others, but also just taking the time out for yourself. I think we take for granted that as well, caring for ourselves first.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I would agree. I think I take my privilege for granted. The privileges that I have, just the necessities of life that I don't have to think about.
Yeah,
I take for granted. I take that for granted. I take my health for
Mhm.
granted. You know, it's a hard realization that I've had to face in the midst of COVID, in the pandemic, that if you don't take care of your temple,
Yeah.
um, it's not going to take care of you, so to speak, and so that is something that I've had. That's a hard realization, that I had to realize that, just thought you're going to always be able bodied and feeling good when you're not putting anything enough in consistently
yes,
to keep keep it well so that it can support a time like this.
Mhm.
Does that
yes.
make sense what I'm saying?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm definitely
Yes.
gonna
Hmm.
piggyback off of what you're saying, Yolanda, is my health. Oftentimes people will see me say that. I always say my health is my wealth. The thing is, like you said, you only get one body,
Mhm.
and
Yep.
you only get one arm. You won't grow back another one. You won't. I mean, I know they give us some transplants, but at the end of the day, you need to take care of all your original body parts,
Mhm.
and that's going to be the best way that you're going to be healthy and be able to enjoy the life that you have. um I think my greatest thing about my health is um taking the time, kind of like what you said, Ronika, and putting in, and kind of what you're saying, Lisa. You got to stop and take time. My doctor used to tell me, because I've been fighting the battle of weight for years, and my doctor used to tell me, I said, well, I don't got time for that, doc. And he would tell me, well, I'll tell you what, all this stuff that you don't got time, all this stuff you're doing, and you don't got time to do for your health, he
Mhm.
said, well, guess what? When your health fails you, you won't have time to do that stuff.
That's right.
That's right.
And I really thought about that. And you keep putting yourself, your health on the back burner, but to do everything else. But at the end of the day, you can't do anything without being healthy. And
That's
and
right.
so that is the greatest wealth that we have. So oftentimes we take that for granted.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I would definitely say that's one of the greatest lessons and things currently that I'm working on is just being healthy and taking time for self.
Hmm.
Yeah. So Lisa, you got anything else you'd like to share with our viewers before we sign off?
I want to show you my Slim Tea. You talked about your weight.
Yeah.
Mm. Let's
Yes.
talk
This is what
about
I
it.
use. This is what I use that I lost 75 pounds off of. So I have my Slim Tea. I took it every morning. Um, I lost weight so fast off of it at first till I had hanging skin, and then I had to join a gym to do something with the hanging skin. So I went from looking like this to this in a matter of 8 months
Wow.
Wow.
for my Slim Tea. So I do want to share that. That is on my site as well.
Okay.
Um, and we do sell it here in the store. And it's not a detox tea, it's a thermogenic tea, which is very important. So it's not something that's going to send you to the bathroom, and it's not
Okay.
something that's going to be, quick. And it's not something, it's long lasting, is what I'm trying to say.
Okay.
Okay.
So
Okay.
it speeds up your metabolism, and you'll see effects over a long term. Not something that's going to last for 2 weeks and then you're done with it, and then the weight comes right back. I've been
Okay.
on it now for over a year, and I'm continuing still to lose weight off of it. So I'm very happy with what I created.
Okay. That's great, Lisa. We really appreciate that. So, well, hopefully we got all your information at the bottom of the screen, and people will contact you for all the products and services. So, for now, guys, this is the time when we say we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
You.
Bye. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.